Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. You are tuned in to the Vitamin D with Dawn Dai podcast, and I am your host, Dawn Dai, here to get you excited about your life so that you can live life on purpose and for a purpose. If this is your first time tuning in, welcome. Vitamin D, it's a pun off my name. My name is Dawn, and you get vitamin D from the sun, so I'm here to shed light into your life. And I do this with inspirational insights and conversations with celebrities and everyday people like you and me. Because if you want to be better and you want to do better, then you're going to have to be able to see better. So join me on this journey of living our best lives and understanding and realizing how you are your greatest asset. The conversation I was having with Otesha and Dr. Diandra was so informative that I lost track of time and ended up talking with them for 2 hours. I didn't want to cut any part of their story short, so I decided to make it into 2 parts. We continue talking about discrimination in their industry, their experience traveling in Egypt and Kenya as a gay couple, and how Teneral Cellars seeks to create space for social change. All right now, let's dive in.
Get your vitamin D right here with me and get excited about your life.
And I get this like privilege because of it, like masculine privilege.
Oh, okay.
In the world. So her and my female friends, they always talk about like their struggles of like being a woman in the workplace and all of that. And I never get that, like, because men aren't approaching me or boxing me in that way. Because to them, I'm
one of the homies.
Right. I'm one of the homies. So I get to live in both worlds. But then when I go home with my girlfriends, you know, we could slap fives and talk about how they dudes ain't shit and drink wine. So
preferably back to the salad.
Hello.
So I definitely recognize my privilege in that, right? But yeah, life has been good for me as a gay. I can't complain.
As a gay.
Yeah.
So what does it mean to be authentic, Otesha?
That's interesting. What does it mean to be authentic?
Because if we're always being and we're always becoming, what is the true definition of being authentic?
For me, it's always being me. Like, I think both of us are very much privileged in this thought process of I've never been stifled in anything I've ever wanted to do or try or be. Even as a kid, like my parents never told me I couldn't do anything. And so for me, authentic was always being able to just do me. Period.
Oh, do you? Yeah.
Yeah. And I think where people get confused with authentic is like you have to be the same all the time.
Oh,
you
catch it.
And so for me, it's like if I were authentic to me is like I'm okay with saying I don't like what I liked yesterday. I'm now changing to this, and that's okay. That's authentic to me. And tomorrow I'm not going to be the same either. Like,
right.
But people get really caught up in like, well, you're not authentic because yesterday you were doing this and now you're doing that, and it's like, that's exactly who I am. And I struggled a long time with that. I'm in therapy too to this day, and learning that about myself, that my authentic self is being ever changing.
Oh, shout out to y'all, because I really appreciate that, because I don't know if that's enough conversation even about just getting therapy and making that normalized. Like, I need to look into it, but just hearing to say how these tools are really supporting not only just identification, just in self overall.
Absolutely. I am a big spokesperson for therapy.
And I'm not going to even hold you. Like, when we talk about being authentic, not that I feel like I'm being inauthentic, but I think I can understand what you're saying about people thinking that you have to be the same way all the time. And I always just say, like, I don't eat the same thing every day. So, like, I'm even going through the balance of everything I talk about being motivating, inspiring. And it's like, I might want to cuss your ass out. Oh, I said ass.
Literally.
Yo, listen.
What's on the episode? I said shit. That was like, that's what I said.
We called it balance.
Yeah.
It's balance.
I mean, it's authentic. It's true to who you are.
And it's like, this is what I said too. I said, well, here's the thing. If you subscribe to Vitamin D and if you subscribe to Dawn Dai, this is it.
Exactly.
You can't beat me with my own truth.
Absolutely.
So I'm learning this process because I was like, oh, I can't do this. Like, I can remember as early as like being in high school or college and not wanting to take pictures with the drink in my hand or, not wanting anybody to know if I indulge in cannabis or not. Like, just whatever that.
The word cannabis
I
is
know.
so funny.
I feel like I had this. I could say reefer.
And I work in the cannabis sectors. It's just hilarious to me. I'm sorry.
But I feel
digress.
like you work in the sector, so you guys use the word cannabis all the time.
We do,
yeah, it's
which
like
is weird. We actually changed it in law from weed to cannabis here in California. It's pretty strange, but I didn't mean to throw you off. I just think that cannabis is a funny ass word.
No, but it's just saying, I guess, and that's everything that, this collection that you guys have brought. And we're going to step into the next shindig. But I guess the reason being is that love is just embracing it all.
Absolutely. Oh, you got to.
All of it. So whether you're talking about you had the grace to figure out who you are liking, and it may have been a transitional moment, but just that was your Teneral stage, so to speak.
Absolutely. I love that.
Catch it.
Yes. Yes.
And then what you're saying is that because all of that love was poured on to you, and it doesn't take away from somebody else, because you still had to find your journey, but what happens when you just step into yourself and you walk into yourself and you meet yourself so that you can heal yourself, so that you can hear yourself? Now we got a communication going on.
Yes, absolutely.
But half the time I feel like we are trying to shut out, deafen the noise, create some type of silence on something that's trying to speak. And like what you said, whether it's changing the format, because I think that's how we got on this, about how you were changing it from Women X, it's just getting to the point of understanding that we're all in this, always being, always becoming. But hey, I'm willing to listen. I'm willing to hear you. So even as I'm stepping in, I'm like, okay, why does it have to be like, while we're trying to say, hey, we're together, LGBTQ, IA+, why does it have to be separate? Because I just want somebody to hear me.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's it. That's a part of it. And then working in like nonprofit, right? You have to label things. When you think about like, all right, our fight, Black Lives Matter, right? Whether we can't say all lives matter, because we are focused right now on the Black community, right? We can't say all lives matter because we focused on the LGBTQ+ community. And more specifically, we want to pump resources to this community. And the way that resources are allocated or appropriated, whatever way you're using it, you got to have a label, right? Either we're giving money to at-risk kids or at-promise kids or LGBTQ+ IA folks or Black folks or the AAPI folks. And so I think we get caught up in labels because that's just the way that society has caused us to conform. But I think we as a community don't have to live by those labels. Those are necessary entities for certain things.
For communication. Right. With this label, it defines another label.
Communication, right? If we want to give money, like for instance, LGBTQ+ kids are more likely to commit suicide, much more likely. Those numbers are even more staggering for Black and brown kids. If I don't say that, I don't get the funding and the resources to be able to pump directly to this community. Unfortunately, we live in a world, if we just gave the money to all the people, it may not end up in the right hands. So we need to be very clear about what we're doing and with intention about who we are serving. And so I think that's a big part of why labels are necessary, but I don't necessarily subscribe to them myself. Like, I just think certain words are weird. Like, like, yeah, I'm a lesbian, but that's, who made that word up? It's so weird. Where did it even come from?
Maybe labia, lesbian. Sorry, guys.
It's the second glass of wine.
Wait, what is this that you just poured, Jeremiah?
I don't know what he poured.
Overflowing with Pride Barbera. Yes.
It's called Flowing with Pride.
Overflowing with Pride.
Your cup is overflowing.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So, okay. So we have to smell.
Yeah.
Overflowing with Pride Barbera.
Yes.
And, okay. Ooh.
I love reds.
Yeah.
Reds get you sexy time.
And it's a benefit. It helps with your heart and stuff.
Yeah.
So what are y'all picking up on this one?
I don't know. Why do I feel immense pressure? Like I must know, and I don't know if I know.
You can pick up one thing.
Maybe like a blackberry.
Okay.
I be in Whole Foods a lot. Let me use my fruits.
I get more of like a tobacco-y.
Smoky?
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Drink that.
What you picking up on that? That's good.
Are there cranberries in here? No.
Yeah.
Possibly.
They could. It could be anything I want it to be, right?
You're never wrong, girl. You're never wrong.
This seems like it's been in a barrel longer. Like you think of like a wine barrel when you go wine tasting.
Yeah.
I feel like it would be.
Well,
if I licked the barrel, it would taste like.
Well, the Chenin Blanc is kept in a stainless steel barrel.
So this is definitely a wood one.
Yeah, exactly. So the wood barrels, you pick up more taste and more. Think of the wood barrels are like a closet, like an
incubator?
No, like a spice cabinet. That's the word I was looking for. So the wood barrels, of course, they're reused and things like that. So they pick up and hold other varietals and things like that. So when you put things, if it's the third time it's been used, you're going to get more spices and things. Whereas a stainless steel barrel is truly used to get the grape itself, from the skin of the grape. You get more of the flavors from that, the natural flavors, rather than the wood that adds a little bit more texture to
Gotta
it.
get the skin.
Yeah, it's kind of like when you go to that burger joint and they use that same griddle.
Yeah,
sure.
Them burgers.
Depending on you, as long as the grease ain't too bad.
No.
Fry your fries like some
Yeah.
fish. Hey, baby! Wait a minute!
Amen to that. But yeah, so this is the overflowing with pride because, although it's love is love.
What's on that cover? Can I see that, Jeremiah? Is that the one with the dragon?
No, it's the poem one. So the poem was written by a female artist who we actually, for every label, send out a memo for artists to design the labels.
Wow. All female artists.
All female artists. So we solicited for this one, and these are the ones we received back. I do want to share the pairing. So this pairing is to pair with allyship and advocacy.
Look at this. That's what we're doing right now.
Yes. And so this bottle and Overflowing with Pride is not only for the community itself, but people who support the community as well.
Jeremiah driving, so don't.
This release is not only for the people who identify with the community, but people who support the community, people who are allies and advocate for the community also. So, we wanted to uplift them as well. It's not only about the people who are in the community, but people who also scream out loud for the community as well.
It's like it's for everybody. Truly.
Yes.
So let me ask you this. What's so interesting is how, just talking about the Stonewall riots and how people lost their lives. Even looking at today, have you guys experienced any type of discrimination in your careers because of your sexuality?
Oh, no. I actually think my sexuality, particularly, we live in California.
Yeah,
Let's start there.
Yeah.
This is a whole different country. And my sexuality makes me a unicorn, right? So my sexuality paired with the fact that I have a doctorate degree and I'm Black, I check a lot of boxes.
For diversity.
So they'd be like, hire her and we did it all.
Yes.
And so I recognize that, but I use it. Like, what Ye say, this is my superpower. And when you have something that benefits you,
makes you different, it's a benefit.
And differentiates you, use it. And so in California, I have been blessed and highly favored.
Wow.
That it is okay to be yourself. And in fact, that I'm in politics, particularly in...
Right, and you could just be out there talking about you indulge in cannabis and it's just cool. It's not a moment. You don't give a damn.
I actually don't indulge in cannabis anymore, but I could. It's legal. Proposition 64 makes it legal. You can smoke it. You can eat it. You can grow it. You can monetize so long as you get your paperwork right. And I think that's what makes California a beautiful place. You can be who you are, whoever it's so many different people here. You don't see that in other places. Like,
that's true.
It's just this melting pot of different people of different colors and different genres and different sexualities, and it's different socioeconomic statuses. All right, you can be in the Hollywood Hills one night, and it's just crazy how California, LA particularly too, works. And she's been good to me.
Yeah, I get the privilege of not presenting as gay. So,
oh yeah, she does. She gives us away all the time.
She always
Was she with her Doc Martens?
Yes.
She always says that.
Got those dyke boots on and a shaved head.
But I mean, when I'm going into a work interview or anything like that, I don't have to say that. For her, you know, she walks in a room, there's no doubt about what's going on. But for me, it's like, that's never a question. I guess it doesn't come into play until, you know, it's time to put up photos in your cubicle like everybody else. Or someone told me, and I didn't realize this, you know, as a gay person, you come out a lot. You don't just come out the first time to your family. You're coming out at every job. You come out every time you choose a bathroom. You come out all the time because you have to announce your existence, so to speak. So it's like, if I'm going to work and everyone's talking about spouses, when I say, oh, my wife, the room stops. There's a hesitation like, oh, you have a wife? That's interesting. Is it? Really?
Oh, yeah, they don't stop. They be like, girl, duh, keep going.
You know, and so there's this air of like always being conscious of that you're a gay person versus a cisgendered whatever. You know, you just always are always aware that there's a time to talk about it. Whereas if I'm dating a man, I'll walk in a room with my boyfriend, there's nothing to talk about.
Yeah, see, even then we have two very different experiences. I never wake up and think about my gayness. Now, when I was in Egypt last week.
Right, we didn't even go there. Wow.
Yeah.
Traveling. Wow.
Now, that's a different story.
It wasn't that I felt unsafe. I just had people like following me in bathrooms like, hey. And I'm like, I'm a girl. And they're like, oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. But I also feel like whenever people call me sir, I'm losing weight again. So it's like, I'll take it. You know, I've been working out, but it's just very different and very apparent that people are, not that they aren't, it's just new. They haven't seen it before. So you're like, well, I'm sorry.
Yeah. How can you not seen it?
Yeah.
It's like the same thing. And, you know, maybe I said this loosely. I don't know. I was talking to somebody else. The first NBA referee, the first female NBA referee, Violet Palmer, lesbian woman. And we were just having shout out to Palmer. Yeah. Hey. Come on, Queen V.
Yeah.
But she was just saying the same thing, that, you know, bringing up your sexuality, but when some parents, they want to act brand new. And I use that loosely, but the way I can correlate it, maybe this is the same with you guys, but I know growing up, I knew the sound of my mother's keys when she walked into the room. So to say that this being that grew up in your body, that you know their voice, you know they breathe, you know the look in their eye, you know what they're like, to say that you missed out this point, and then adding the extra pressure as if you're shocked. Dog.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. My grandma was like, girl, you had your wallet in your back pocket at 2. But then some people like use like out of sight, out of mind to deal and cope. So I also don't take away that experience as a parent. I think we all have expectations of people.
Oh, man. Even of ourselves.
Yeah, we have expectations of ourselves. Yo. I have expectations of my spouse. I have expectations. You know, and that's their experience. And, you know, through therapy, I'm there now. I think parents are doing the best that they can with what they have and what they know.
Because they're learning too.
They learning too. And it's different for everyone. You have some, like my homegirl Tasha, like she has a trans daughter, and we really became friends. Because she was doing my feet, because, you know, I'm going to keep my feet right. And just the way that she loved her trans daughter as a Black woman, like a hood Black woman from D.C., like just overfilled my cup. Like we need more of that. But I also recognize that, you know, I'm sure it's no different than like you want your kid to become a doctor, and they're like, nah, I'm trying to spit these bars. Right. So you're grieving the loss of what you thought or what you expected. And that's a very real experience too. And everybody grieves differently. So doesn't take away that it doesn't hurt us, you know, as the person who may be on the other end of that. But I think if you look at it from that perspective, you can become more empathetic.
Yeah. And it's not saying that it's okay, but it's just saying I can see where you are. And it's not a better or worse. It's just that I see you. And I think that just goes about the fact of how you're saying that it doesn't affect your life, but it affects yours. But that is life, your perspective and the lens that you choose to view it in.
Absolutely.
You can find something wrong or say, I'm perfectly imperfect. It's whatever you like.
It's whatever you like.
Kind of like how whatever you taste in that wine.
Yeah. Right. Absolutely. I love that freedom in that because I don't think people really get that. So when you went out there, did you guys, and I'm talking about in Africa, over in Egypt and Kenya, did you feel like you couldn't kiss and touch? Or, oh, you did feel that?
I didn't feel like, no, that's not how I felt.
Okay.
I felt, that's how you felt?
For sure. I mean, we wasn't kissing and holding hands.
Or maybe it was subconscious. I also feel this immense pressure when we are overseas, period, to be a protector. I think in part because I always joke with her, but her mom like threatened me when we got married to protect her. And as two women, not even just gay women, I am always on high alert, right? And so I don't know if PDA or showing affection, I really turn my man on when I'm overseas. Like, don't try to hurt us because I'm the man, if you may, of this relationship. So it's more so just me being on guard. And I'm super, I don't want to say the word, I'm not misogynistic, super machismo, if you may, overseas, because I'm like, don't fuck with us because I got to make sure we get back, you know, home safe.
Yeah, I think in that element of that is just being a woman. When she said that, it made me think of like walking home from school as a teenage girl. Like you just have to put on a certain look so that people don't try you.
Oh yeah,
I used to feel like that in New York.
Yeah,
I feel like New York taught me my gangster.
Yeah.
It's just like I gotta see you. I see you.
Yes, exactly. You have to exert a certain power.
Hold on, let me tell you. And it's just like the same thing. If we think about like fear and things that we fear about, oftentimes fear is what? False evidence appearing real. So it's all an illusion.
Yeah.
But if I see you, you can't beat me. Bro.
Yeah.
And that even comes with yourself. You just got to take the time to see yourself.
Absolutely.
So yeah.
But I personally do feel like when we go overseas, we're a little more vigilant and a little more aware.
Particularly in Africa. Now, I don't think we feel like that in Europe.
Right. I would say.
Oh, Europe is more welcome?
And more so like, right, we've lived together in Africa. That's how our relationship started.
Ooh.
Rwanda.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it's a lot.
Y'all lived in Rwanda together?
We've been together
you
for
lived in Rwanda. You mean like over a year?
No,
like summer.
Like summer. Yeah, we spent the summer
3 months
in Rwanda during grad school. And Rwanda on the map is right next to Uganda, where Uganda, they will straight stone your butt for being gay. And so ever since then, I have had this, you know, like, all right, you know, we real close in East Africa just to make sure that, you know, we are safe. And so much so, like, I'm always growing my hair out when we go into Africa. It's probably subconscious. I don't look girly. I don't know why I do it. Whatever, I try. And we were in Rwanda. They was like, yo, like, we know y'all together. And we was like, nah, we not.
No.
They like, it's cool. We like, this is a trick. Like, no, we not together. But we happened to actually, you know, meet a group of Kenyans who was like, yo, like, it's cool. Like, we know, everybody knows, y'all can't hide it. And we got y'all. And they protected us for that entire summer.
So they just take out women too, like just boom.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, not so much Uganda specifically, but it was real close to me. If you look at the map, like,
that's crazy.
It's crazy.
That's crazy. You care who I'm sleeping with that much that you said I'm taking your existence out?
Yeah.
What? People are committing suicide. People are being abandoned. People are homeless on the street.
Yeah.
Because I said that I like something?
Yo.
Could you imagine if somebody said, if every person liked vanilla ice cream, you can't exist, I gotta take your life. And it has nothing to do with you all up in my business.
That part.
It's kind of like being black. And then you add that on top of being gay.
Oh, wait a minute. That's 2 layers. And then being a female,
then
right?
A woman. And I'm going to throw in another one. Like, I know millennials, it's a bad word today. Like,
is it?
Yo, the boomers are not fucking with the millennials.
What do you mean?
I've had more discrimination for being a millennial than being gay, for certain.
I agree.
I don't know if I experienced it. I have no idea what y'all talking about.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know. It's just...
We ready for the third one.
It's just such a disconnect in thought. And, you know, millennials are for them, we can't focus. You know, we want to do too much. We don't stay anywhere long enough.
Or we want to start off like at a certain salary and they like, but I worked 20 years for that salary. And it's like, well, it's a new world. It's like the NBA players today.
I'm feeling that the way about, what is it after us, a Gen Z?
Yeah.
I feel like that way about them. They just be wanting all this money. You know, you have to do some work.
Yes.
It don't come like that.
They a little different. Now, it's just different in the workplace. And I think we work differently. It's no different, right? We're talking about being on the spectrum. Like, we just have to learn to respect everybody's differences, right? Millennials, they want to work remote. Let them work remote. Is the work being done? I don't know. It's
I did this story I was talking about with Apple. They were working on with their hybrid model, and they were saying they were requiring some people to come in a couple days a week. And I ain't gonna even front. Like, when I was working with the Steve Harvey Morning Show, I pretty much was working remotely, doing my work, and it was fine. But I do think, depending on what kind of brand or company, there is some camaraderie of how we generate ideas of how we create that product. And also, you know, while we're so electronically connected, we need to be able to relate to one another.
Most definitely. That's probably why we all batshit crazy coming out of this pandemic. But I think it depends, right, on where you work. But then I, as a employee, have the right to choose, like, if that works for me.
Who said that?
Not. Yeah.
Right.
You know, so I prefer to be in the office, right? I need connection. I love small talk and going to lunches and
you do? Oh, yeah.
and grabbing drinks.
What are you doing after work?
All of that. So it all depends on your personality.
Right, because my job was in digital. Yeah.
So I actually went from working like 60 hours in the office to going remote, and I think I did go through a depression. It was too much for me. It was too much of a shift for my personality type. But I think that it just depends on who you are, and we need to just embrace those differences. And every employee is going to be different. Now, I'm also a capitalist. We need to get that bag, and I have a bottom line as an owner of a company.
What company?
No, well, I mean, we are investors in Teneral.
Hello, somebody. So, Teneral Cellars.
Teneral Cellars. What do you say? Catch it.
Catch it.
But if I did own a company, or if I'm the CEO of a company, we have, objectives to be met. And so long as you're meeting those objectives, how we get there, it can look differently for different people. Whereas a baby boomer is like, get your ass in here. You're going to be here from 9 to 6.
Even though you've been checking Facebook for 4 hours.
Right. Who put up what they feel? Yeah. Okay, so we got a new cup in here. What is this, Jeremiah?
This is our Merlot, I believe. Yes. This is the one you like.
So bring it over here.
The bottle you like the most.
Oh, with the dragonflies on there, because I love this. Okay, so this is the Merlot. And on the cover, there's this face. We don't know if it's a man or a woman, but I'm just going to say it's a woman because it's a woman's company. Ambiguous. And it has all these dragonflies on there and all the colors. And I guess it just represents us. Like all of the representation is there and it's flying off. Kind of like we're facing change. We're facing diversity. Kind of like what you guys profess for. Diversity makes us stronger.
Yes.
Feminism for everyone.
Absolutely.
Love is love.
Yes.
Can I ask you this? What's the difference between being a feminist and a womanist?
Ooh.
Ask Audre Lorde.
Womanist I've never really used. Tell me more.
Okay, well, I was questioning.
Well, I actually just read this. That's so funny.
Come on, doctor.
Audre Lorde actually is the birther, if you may, of womanism. And she said that feminism doesn't include the struggles of the Black woman.
Right.
And so womanism encompassed Black women. And that was her goal in advocating for women's rights. Today, I'd argue that Black women are not at the forefront of the feminism movement still. However, I think we've made great progress, right? We're talking about, we were just watching something and we go on vacation and our favorite thing to do is watch TV in our room.
What?
Because we got like 4 channels. And you be up at crazy hours because you be jet lagged. And I forget the name of this hospital show. It escaped me. It's a white man doctor. And they're talking
Not The Good Doctor.
Nope.
Not Amsterdam.
That's it.
Okay.
Yeah, I had never seen it. But the whole episode was talking about how Black women's health issues, right? Black Lives Matter. It was like, this is a strange world that we live in. Like, this is primetime television. This is the dialogue that is taking place and that media is portraying. And I think with every dialogue, with every transformation, rather, it starts with dialogue.
Yep.
And the media plays such a big role in that, because often you think about like the richest people in the world, they own your media outlets. So they selling you what they want you to believe, how they want you to move, etc. And so it is a strange time to be a Black woman in America. It's weird. You're kind of uncomfortable. Like, all right, you sure?
Well, tell me what? Tell me more.
I just feel like we're living in a time where, like, we're talking about, particularly I work in real white spaces, right? I work in politics, I work in academia, and everything is centered around the Black person. It's just strange. It's just weird. I'm not saying that it's not a bad thing. This is what,
because now it's like all this time we were waiting to be seen, and now everybody's seeing us.
Yeah, and it's weird. And I'm sure there's going to be some like theory that comes out of this, that it's going to be some syndrome, like imposter syndrome or some shit. But it's just really weird, but also a great time to be alive. I think that we are witnessing a cultural shift that will be written about in history books for many, many years to come. So if we're blessed to continue to survive this pandemic and this global racial uprising that was essentially started by a Black man with the death of George Floyd, I think we can really change what the global world and impact looks like for decades to come. And I thought I felt like that. I got Trayvon Martin tattooed.
Wow.
I thought we were there with Trayvon Martin. There's been so many other lives lost in our Black community. But for George Floyd, for some reason, like timing.
It was just, everybody was isolated. Everybody was in.
It's really strange, but to see what is coming out of it and the amount of resources that will be allocated to our communities that have been devastated on purpose, systemically. If we seize this moment, I think that it will be our next renaissance.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's what Teneral's here. Yeah. To foster those discussions and conversations and, really bring those safe spaces to have those conversations as well. Because there is a disconnect. I mean, like you said, Black communities have been talking about these issues and knowing that these things are happening to our communities every day for our whole lives. Yet, after George Floyd's death, it became the forefront of a lot of other lives that don't look like ours.
Come on.
And so using that momentum, and that's also a part of what started Teneral was the death of George Floyd, understanding that there is a way, an impact that could be made in an industry using conversation and using discussion and using, the ignorance of people, honestly, in different communities to really push forth change. Like being a white woman in the middle of Kentucky, you got to live in this world where, you didn't know a George Floyd existed. And now you're forced to look at that, but you don't know what to do with that. But that's what Teneral's here for. Well, you may not know what to do with it, but we have a space for you to say, I don't know what to do with it. What more can I do? And there's people there, there's groups there, there's other individuals around you who can say, listen, I understand you're a white woman from Kentucky and you don't know what's happening, but I'm going to make sure you never can say that again.
Right.
Because now you've heard about it, we've talked about it, we've dialogued, and that's truly what Teneral was built around, being able to bring that safe space to the world.
Freaking love that. Because I feel like communication is the heart of it all.
Yeah.
Life and death are in the power of the tongue. What were you about to say?
I was going to say, what do they say? Oral communication is still the largest form of communication.
That's how we told our stories. Yeah. That's how we got education. We got in a circle and we sang a song.
Listen.
Absolutely.
And I feel like the moment or when we get to a space that we forget how to communicate, that's what becomes the downfall.
Yes.
Because it's not so much of communicating so you feel like how different we are, but you communicate to find out how we can connect. That's the point of it, of this connection. And shout out to Teneral Cellars for making that connection possible, for acknowledging the fact that you are always being, you are always becoming.
Cheers
and that's all right. And guess what? Whatever state that is, you're authentically perfect.
Authentically perfect. Can we get that on the shirt?
It's a new Teneral swag.
Teneral swag.
Yes, yes. How are you liking that Merlot?
I love it.
I could tell by the mms.
Go ahead and check out TeneralCellars.com right now. Get your life, get your drink. Oh, and tell them Dawn Dai sent you.
Hello.
And I know y'all love discounts. So 20% discount. I have a code. It is Dr. D20, DRDEE 20. It's a one-time 20% code. Use that for yourself, gift it to others. My gift to you.
Hey, hey. See, just pretend that Dr. D was like vitamin D.
Yes.
We're all giving the D.
Yes, yes.
So in this box, I got some terms, some words in here.
Okay.
You're just going to go in here. You're going to pick something out. But tell me the first thing that comes to mind. It can be an inspirational message, just whatever it is. It could be dealing with wine. It could be not.
Okay.
But I'm just interested. So,
okay.
You're
me first.
Okay,
right.
Go in the vitamin D chest.
Alrighty. Let's see what we pulled out the chest. Dragonfly.
What does that mean to you?
Always being, always becoming, baby. No, dragonfly. Really, dragonfly to me is beauty and speed. In a sense of like something so, like when I see dragonflies, I feel like I can never catch all of their beauty in my eyes. Mm-hmm. And so for me, it's like dragonflies are like a moment of remembering like there's beauty in that, but you may not always be able to catch it in that moment, but knowing there's beauty in that.
Catch it.
Catch it.
Hey, because we're always becoming. Wow. And just in case, you already know that the dragonfly is the logo for Teneral Cellars. Mm-hmm. Wow. Okay, D.
All right, it's my turn. You always want to set the bar.
What you got in there?
Let's see what I got. Feminism. I think first thing that comes to mind is that feminism isn't just what you see. It isn't based on appearance. We can all, and we all should be feminists. Particularly, right, when I come in a room, I tell you, I don't have on a suit and a tie today, but I am masculine presenting. We throw these words around. And you wouldn't think like that firstly, I am a woman. But if all women ain't right? If my mama not right, if my wife not right, if my grandma not right, how can any women be right? And so I really want to embrace the word feminism. We just came from the motherland.
Come on.
Right? And the mother, that is a purposeful word, right? This Africa, this content, this woman, the mother, feeds the rest of the world. And that's important. So if we don't take care of our women, we're not taking care of our world. So even this environmental movement, everything is birthed out of the feminist movement. And we need to hold this at our centers.
Dang.
Amen. Amen.
Wow.
Catch it.
Catch it.
Yes. And along that lines, going back to Teneral, our next release will be around women's health and uplifting women's health. And
what are we talking about?
We're talking about the female body, talking about
the
vulva, and the power of the feminine channel, basically.
Wow.
So the bottles will have beautiful art of women's beautiful bodies, whether they be boobs or the vulva or, just a silhouette. But it's really about celebrating what the woman is capable of, what the woman goes through, both pain and pleasure.
I love that. Oh. Hey. No, but I really appreciate that. And I would usually use 2 or additional ones, but I think that was enough, just talking about, dragonfly and then feminism and everything that you said and just how you're saying with the next thing, because, I don't subscribe to Christianity. I believe in God. You may hear me talk about scriptures and so forth, but it's just how I feel like those parables relate us to know that whatever you're going through, it's happened before.
Absolutely.
And it's told in different languages. But I say all that to say, because oftentimes we're taught that, a woman comes from a man, but like you were saying, we are responsible for the world. Woman, the womb man, and understanding why it is so important to preserve the woman, because she is the gift of life. She is the one that carries you through it. And as you were talking about waking up with George Floyd and how Teneral Cellars was birthed upon that, because the complexities of what Black women go through, everybody can resonate when you talk about somebody's baby.
Absolutely.
And when that man sat there and called, or I shouldn't sat there, when he laid down, gasping for air, calling out to his mother, no matter what race, color, creed, or religion, you knew what that meant.
You felt it. I felt it just now again.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And I think that's just so important to understand how precious. In fact, I even had a different outlook. Is it called the hijab or the hajj?
Hijab.
Hijab.
Yeah.
And at first I was like, dang, covering up. But then I saw it from a different lens, because there was this model and she was just explaining why she dresses like that. And, whether you choose how much to cover up or not, I did understand it, because it's like, that's so precious. I'm not giving you all of that. And it doesn't take away from me. In fact, it preserves, because now it gives you the moment of what you say that you may not experience, D, by being masculine presenting, because I need you to see me.
Absolutely.
And sometimes you taking to see me is beyond what you see with your eyes and having that vision of who I am. So,
I got you.
I just, just you explaining that. And I think I want to hold myself accountable a bit more as being a woman and knowing that authority and that power that comes with it.
Absolutely.
And the thing about it that's interesting too is that, and y'all gonna keep hearing me say Jeremiah told me something, because he's really interested. But just even talking about, he's put up some posts of just talking about like agriculture, like plants, and how some plants actually carry both sexes. Like,
yes,
we know within ourselves, we have our testosterone, we have our estrogen. It's just like, once we can get out of this who's up top, who's at the bottom, and realize, get it more like in tune of the yin and the yang.
Absolutely.
We realize how we weave in and out. And just like you say, I'm not showing up the same person that you thought I was, but I'm showing up as who I am today.
Absolutely.
Teneral Cellars, thank you for showing up as you.
Hey.
Otesha, thank you for being that voice. D, thank you for being a backbone and supporter to your wife.
Yes.
I'm doing my best. Well, you're
doing damn good. Okay? That's what I got to say. So thank you for bringing this wine and just saying what it really means to have love is love, because just starting off with the conversation of how you started your relationship, how you allowed your love to matriculate you not only in your experiences, but in life, and now even down to the business. And then that love just keeps on giving, because you said, oh, let's invest in this company because of our love together. And now you loving on other people.
Amen.
Dang.
It takes a village.
That's
it
dope.
Does. Yes,
y'all so dope.
No, you're so dope. And shout out to you, man.
Yeah.
I'm so proud to see your growth. In your journey. You always bring light wherever you are, whatever space you're in.
I received that.
Yes.
Chandala Igbo. So if somebody wants to find more about Teneral Cellars and even to check you guys out on social media or whatever you're doing,
absolutely,
let us know.
Well, Teneral Cellars can be found on Instagram, Facebook, and the website at 𝘸𝘪𝘵𝑒𝑟.com. Teneral spelled like general, but with a T.
Hey.
So, if you've seen those 1-800-GENERAL now, you know how to spell it. So Teneral Cellars on Facebook, Teneral Cellars on Instagram, and 𝘸𝘪𝘵𝑒𝑟.com. And then for myself, you can find me on Instagram at _2_Otesha. So like Moesha, O to the Otesha.
Hey.
And Otesha spelled Otesha.
Okay.
And I am MLK of the New Day.
Hey.
On Instagram.
On Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Just
me.
Instagram.
Yeah.
Just Instagram.
We don't have any website.
I do have a Facebook. I'm old. It's my government name.
Don't try to say you old, because then what you trying to say? I'm ancient?
Nah.
Fall back, sis.
People, whenever you say you old, it's always a bad thing. Like, shoot, from our community, if you make it to be old, it's a beautiful thing. But I digress. Diandra Bremond, Facebook, MLK of the New Day on Instagram.
You can find me on her Facebook because I don't use it that much.
She pretty much does all this for me. So yeah, if you find her, you find me.
Yeah, we're a package deal.
Okay, got it. Now I'm gonna start with you, D. Then I'm leaving with you, T.
Okay.
D and T. Hey. Okay. So vitamin D is just a dose of inspiration. So could you leave us with a dose? It can be a lyric. It can be a song. Just something that you live by, or something that inspires or motivates you.
Oh,
this is a good one.
it is.
To thine own self be true.
You're gonna come with the gym all quick like that. That's a good one. What do I live by?
Depends on the day.
There it is. Depends on the day.
Why? That's so much freedom in that.
Yes.
Dang. Well, you got it right here. Love is love. We had the opportunity to talk to two phenomenal women who have really shown how love not only works in their relationships, but in everyday life. And we see that with the company they're investing in, Teneral Cellars, a company for women by women, but really influenced to make change within our communities and changes abroad. So shout out to Otesha, Director of Community Partnerships and Experiences. Them bringing their wine up here was definitely an experience. And thank you, D, for coming on and just showing what it means to stand up for your woman. And I want to thank you for tuning in. Thank you for taking a chance on yourself to perhaps even exploring a new possibility of what love looks like to a different community. Also, just taking a chance to understand what love is. And hopefully you found another way to love on yourself, to walk in your truth, to be bold, because fortune favors the bold. How bold are you going to be? Not just with your dreams, but with your life and with love, because you realize that love rules all. When you find love, you find passion. And passion beats purpose. So what is the purpose that you have for your life? More importantly, what do you want? If you love yourself enough, what do you want? I just need you to make a choice. Make a decision and choose it. Walk into your authority. That's what we do on the Vitamin D with Dawn Day podcast. So I hope that you were able to shed some light on some issues and also to another aspect and another vulnerable part of you. And I want to encourage you that if you want to be a guest, maybe if you want to submit some materials, or perhaps you got an idea for a topic, or you want to write in on a vitamin D advice letter, email me, VitaminD@DawnDaiSpeaks.com, okay? Now, I want to be straight with you. You coming in for some advice. I'm going to keep it real with you, because I want you to be the best. So I'm going to give it to you just as it is, all right? But email me, okay? And then also, make sure you check out our YouTube page at Dawn Dai Speaks. You're going to check out all these interviews, all these excerpts. We got quick doses. We got a lot of treats and all that. And then one more time, in case you just out and about and you want some vitamin D on the go, I want to encourage you to follow me on all social media at Dawn Dai Speaks, okay? You got that? I'm in the business of making dreams come true, and I damn sure ain't gonna forget about me. So until next time, always remember, you are your greatest asset.